So the quilt I've got in front of me is one that I've made as a bright children's quilt. I've called it a worm quilt. It's made with, it's what I do, I make it with children's quilts with very simple shapes. This has got rectangles and half square triangles, so anybody who does patchwork and quilting will recognise those. However, they are lacking their eyes. And what I really was hoping that I could do was find a way to have a little single kind of oval motif. Now I know this lovely machine does that shape, but as a continuous row. But can I do it as a single motif?
You certainly can. There's a couple of ways we can do that.
Okay.
So first of all, we need to go into our satin stitch section. So we need to select on here a satin stitch into there, and then you need to select which one of these patterns you'd like.
Okay. So can I choose number 4?
Yep. So number 4 now. So we can just pop that underneath the machine. And we can start sewing. And as we start sewing, we can just press the lock stitch, and that will do as one pattern repeat. But there are times when I'm doing that and I forget, so we'll go on and end up with 2. So there's a real fail-safe way of doing it. So that will do your one little eye.
And that knots it off at the back as well.
That knocks it off, ties it off everything, so it's done. So to do it so it's fail-safe, so we need to press, we've got some little hearts here, so if we press those, and we just select number 4. And you asked me before what this button's for. It's a lock stitch. So it means if I press that, the machine will now automatically, it'll sew one pattern repeat for me, and then it will lock stitch and tie off and cut off without me having to do anything.
Right.
So it's a really fail-safe way of doing it.
Isn't it just? Oh, that's clever.
So it's just exactly the same, but it just does that for me. And then when I've finished with it, I can just press this button again, and I'm back to the standard screen. 2 little hearts for stitch sequencing. Very easy to use. The other really nice feature with these satin stitches is we can elongate them.
Oh, right.
So we can elongate them up to 5 times the original length. So we've gone from an original size here, and it goes up to 5 times the length, but it keeps the stitch density as well and pattern.
So how do we do that?
We're going into here. So which one should we go with? Should we go with number 5?
Sure.
We'll have a look. So again, we pull the screen up here. And can you see here, we've got the usual, the width, the length,
That's this one.
tension, everything.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. So on here, we've got times 1, and go times 2, times 3, times 4, and times 5. And you can see it on the screen altering. So it's very straightforward to do.
And okay, so we've done that. So this one, you went back to the front screen and you put you
Just pop
touched
that
the hearts
with this one. So we're back onto number 4. Touch the little hearts here. Can we see it's done? If you look, we've got little hearts. Let me take it off. We've got 3 little hearts, and then when you touch the screen, it goes hearts, clubs, and diamonds. So it just shows you can combine your stitches really easily by using that.
Okay.
So we can combine whatever we like. We can have one of those, one of those, one of those. It's a really good way to combine
and then you
stitches.
put the lock stitch in as well.
You can put the lock stitch on the end, so it will just do that sequence for me and stop. And if you're not sure and you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure what that's going to look like, press on the screen here and it brings you up your preview screen.
All right.
It's
very
a
clever.
lovely one to use if you're spelling something.
Well, yes,
because we've all done that. We realise halfway through that we've spelled something wrong. And it's really easy to do.
Okay.
So when we use the preview screen to check what we're doing, we can actually put up to 50 stitches in here.
Oh my goodness.
So that really gives you a lot of scope to build up lots of patterns, lettering, quilt labels, anything like that.
And that works with the elongation section as well. It
does, yes. You can pop them all in. And again, there's a memory on the machine, so we can save a sequence into the memory if it's something we used a lot, or onto USB alternatively. And then when we don't want it anymore, we can just pop that straight back.
Okay.
It's very, very easy to use. I've got another one here which just shows you what you can do with the different stitches. So if you look on here, we've got some beautiful embroidered, fabulous dragonflies, and they're just done using the different elongation stitches. Some variegated threads there, and again the little leaf, and it's just going up into 5 steps that we can take it up to resize. So you can do some, you can have some fabulous effects with this. But the elongation feature just purely works with the satin stitches.
So when I sew the eyes on here, Jane, because it's a satin stitch, do you think I need something for the back?
Yes, you need to put some stabiliser on there just to make sure the fabric can support the heavy stitches The satin stitch is very dense.
Yes, it is quite, isn't it? Otherwise it's going to squidge up.
Yes. It won't do a nice finish for you.
No, great. Okay, thank you. Who knew it was so easy? I can't wait.